What's up guys, Rhino here and welcome back to another one of my FIFA 20 First Owner Road to Glory videos on the channel guys. Today in this video I'm going to be taking a little bit of a deep dive into this Josef Martinez MLS Player of the Month SBC. So I did mention I was going to obviously kind of like blast for a few of these SBCs now guys, because I've left them for quite a while and I need to have a look at them really. So we're going to crack on with this one, and first of all, of course, like the same format as the previous video, just going to have a look at his at the card in general. Just have a look at the stats, because obviously kind of the most important thing is how it's going to play on the pitch. So in general, this Martinez, he doesn't look too bad. I mean, he looks really good, to be fair. Like 5'7", high medium work rates, which I think is perfect. 4-star weak foot, which is brilliant. He only has 3-star skills, but for me personally, that doesn't really matter too much. I don't really tend to do skills too much. I should, but I don't. I know for a lot of you guys out there, that'll be a bit of a problem, which obviously kind of like decrease the value of the player for you. But for me, that's fine. Now, if you look at the in-game stats, again, like obviously we see like his pace down the car. He's got 93 pace, he's 90 acceleration, 94 sprint speed, so he's going to be absolutely rapid, which is obviously important on this game. Shooting wise, 85 shot overall, so that's broken down into 91 attack positioning, 90 finishing, which at this stage of the game, I mean, wow. 87 shot power, only 71 long shots, 80 volleys, 85 penalties, so a really kind of like pretty much like a sharp shooter, I would say, like a good poacher, good finisher. Passing wise, average I suppose, but he's a striker. Like, he doesn't need to be playing like raking passes across the pitch. He's going to be absolutely fine. He has 81 short passing, which is kind of more than enough really. Dribbling wise, again, brilliant. 85 dribbling. He has 97 agility and 98 balance, which is unreal, guys. That is almost perfect. At this stage of the game, that's incredible. 87 reactions, 85 ball control, 81 dribbling, 80 composure. You combine that composure with that 90 finishing, I mean, he shouldn't miss, really. I mean, that should be absolutely insane. 89 heading accuracy as well. He's 5'7", did we say? Yeah, 5'7". He has 93 jumping and 89 heading accuracy. So any issues that you had about the height, forget about it. He's going to be brilliant in the air. As much as heading and crosses aren't really too effective on this game, if he does get the odd opportunity to convert a header, the chances are he's going to do it. 77 stamina. Again, I kind of mentioned it in the previous video. That's fine at this stage of the game, guys. It's not brilliant. In a few months' time, you probably look at that and say it's not good enough. But at this point, it's fine. There's not going to be many players out there that are going to outlast him on the pitch. 80 strength is pretty good for a 5'7" player as well. 71 aggression, so he can really put himself about. He looks like a brilliant striker, guys. We'll take a look at the squads, of course. Again, I've got concept squads because I'm not going to sink my coins into this because I simply can't afford to. So we're going to have a look at some squads that you would put together. This is kind of like the cheapest that I've found. And obviously it's a bit of a mishmash, but you'll see in a second. And then we'll obviously get on to my kind of general pros and cons. I should state that this guy up here, it puts him in. It doesn't put him as a concept, but have him on loan. But you can't submit loan players, guys, into like a squad. If I had all the players that I tried to submit, it would stop you. So don't be fooled by that. You can't actually put a loan player in. But we do have, going from the back, quite a similar theme to one of the previous videos. So obviously I did mention before like what makes a player good for an SBC, in terms of just players that are high rated but don't necessarily have that great stats, or they're not much like a FIFA player. They don't have stats, or they're not high rated in stats that are like overly desirable. And you kind of notice that if you do a lot of SBCs over the year, you'll see that it's the same players that keep popping up in people's squads for the cheapest solutions. So here we've got Sirigu, Romagnoli, and Acerbi again. So that little triangle. Luis Alberto and Lucas Leiva have popped up again, guys. 84 rated cards, so obviously they're brilliant for this. De Vrij there is at the back, just obviously a soft link. I should say, before I forget, you do need 75 chemistry for this. Obviously why we've got a few kind of soft links there. You could have just put any random 84 in usually, because these 75 chemistry, that's why it's got a Serie A player there, just to get that link and obviously hit the rating requirement. It's an 84 rated squad, which is the same as the St. Maximin squad, which is obviously going to make it fairly expensive. It's not going to be like through the roof, but when you combine that with the second squad, it does make it pretty pricey, guys. We've got Pizzi at right back there, an 84 red card. He's another example. He's a good nationality, but not a brilliant nationality, I wouldn't say. Like there are obviously some great Portuguese players, Ronaldo being one, like Bernardo Silva, João Felix. Like there's some great Portuguese players, but there's not loads. And obviously Ronaldo is extremely expensive, and if you don't get Ronaldo in a few months down the line, a lot of these players, João Felix won't be amazing in a couple of months' time, his base card. If he gets some informs, he'd be brilliant, but there's not going to be too many kind of desirable links for this Pizzi, especially because he's placed like in the Portuguese league for Benfica, so that's obviously why he's going to be quite cheap. You got João Moutinho though, he's an 84, but I mean, he's so slow, isn't he? Even though he's Premier League, he's slow. His defending's bad, his physical's bad. He's just a good technical footballer, but he's just not a good FIFA player, unfortunately, guys. He's got great dribbling and passing, but that's not going to be enough to make him a success on the FIFA pitch. There's Visca again, linking to Dzeko. 284s again, guys. So we've got the same theme, the same sort of players that keep like appearing all the time. This squad is going to cost just under 30k, to be honest. It's probably going to be about, well, I saw 28k is the estimate which I had, but I'm going to say 30k just because obviously player prices do fluctuate quite a lot. So I think 30k is a fair estimate there, guys. Now the second squad is a little bit different. It's 85 rated, but you do need a fair bit of chemistry this time. You need 65 chemistry, whereas with St. Maximin it was only 55. So 65 chemistry for this one, and you also need one MLS player. Now that makes it quite difficult because obviously the MLS doesn't have a huge pool of high rated players. Of course, you don't have to go for a high rated player from the MLS. You could go for, I don't know, like an 81, 82 rated player, but then you then have to make that up with some of your ratings and your other players in the squad. But in this example, we have got probably the highest rated base card in the MLS, I would imagine. I could be wrong, but I think Ibrahimovic would be the top dog. He should be the top dog, to be honest. So 85 rated there. Now normally a card like this wouldn't be like hugely expensive, but obviously this is his inform that we seem to have found here, because I've got it under centre mid. But I'm interested to see his price, like kind of at the moment. So 7.5k is actually cheaper than I thought, to be fair, because obviously he's had an inform, so he's only just been coming into packs like over the last sort of week or so. I'm not sure if there'll be too many on the market, and obviously because this SBC, I thought his price may have gone up a bit, but he seems to be pretty cheap for an 85, so that's brilliant. I mean, obviously he's not the quickest, he's not going to be like amazing in game, but still a pretty useful player. So that's quite a good price actually for a player of his kind of standard. And you can see he's got no links off him. He's playing out of position, but it's enough. You only need 65 chemistry, so it's not too bad. We have Buffon in goal as an 83. This guy at right back, a goalkeeper again, guys. Like I said in the previous video, how high-rated goalkeepers. I mean, he's an 83. It's not ridiculously high, but it's a solid rating. They're just cheap. Like goalkeepers are just cheap in general, and this guy as well. He's a non-rare, which just I guess that just makes him even cheaper, being non-rare, really, guys. I mean, he's like probably about 1,500 coins, which is crazy. The fact that he's an 83 and he's non-rare is interesting to say the least. But of course, we have had higher rare players in the past. I remember Bruno being an 84 that was non-rare. I don't think there's been anybody higher than that. I'm not sure, but let me know in the comments if there has been like an 85. I can't think of anyone, but it wouldn't surprise me. We got Pjanic again appearing in one of these squads, guys, as an 86 rated card. Bonucci is appearing because he's got 58 pace. He's not going to be like really like overpowered in game. He's another example of a player who like he's not really going to reflect his rating on the pitch. There's going to be slightly lower rated cards who are going to be much more usable than him, so it's fine. He's definitely an SBC player, really. We have Tadic at left back. Again, he's actually like a decent card, but he just is cheap because he plays for Ajax in like a not so great league with not many good players in there, and he's from Serbia, so again there's not going to be many links off him there, so he's literally like 2,000 or 3,000 coins. A very cheap option. We've got Parejo in centre mid, only 41 pace, so even though he's an 86, he just, again, doesn't really hold much value. Like 11k, not even 11k at the moment. These 86s will probably rise in a few months when there's a few more slightly more desirable SBCs that need like 85, 86 rated squads. These 86 rated cards should go up in price. They have done in previous years, guys. They've normally been worth about 20,000 coins, really, 86 rated cards. So they could be something that's worth investing in, but it depends how long you want to kind of like be patient and wait out for those player prices to go up. You have Ilao Mendy in midfield there as an 83. Again, 54 pace, definitely an SBC player. Koke is an 85. 68 pace for a right mid. If he was a centre mid, he'd be brilliant. He'd be worth so much more, but he just isn't worth it to play on the wing, guys. You got Oyarzabal there as an 82. Again, a player literally just really for links, and obviously he's only got 75 pace. He's not a winger, unfortunately. He might be quite good in camp, but he's just going to be SBC fodder. You got Aspas up front. In fairness to Aspas, he's been alright when I've played against him. I don't think he's that bad. He'd be pretty good like in cam or centre forward. He doesn't look horrific, but 85 rated. I mean, I don't know how he's managed to get that high. He's like not the same player that we saw at Liverpool, but 7,000 coins. That is dirt cheap, guys. It's just dirt cheap. This squad comes in at about 50, probably about 55,000 coins. This one, because obviously it's a little bit more specific in terms of needing a player from a certain league, and it's a bit more chemistry. So it. 55,000 coins, you combine that with a 30,000, you look at about 85,000 coins for this Martinez, which is quite a lot, to be honest. Like, it is a lot. The card is really good, but I'll talk about the kind of pros and cons there, guys. I've got some stuff kind of written down here, because I know I'll end up forgetting some points. That's why I just write it down now. Because I have so many ideas that whirl around in my head, and I end up missing out some, and I feel really bad that I've not put them in the video. So there's honestly a lot of pros to this card. It's not like Sim Maximan where there weren't very many pros. This card, there's a lot of positives to this SBC, but for me the negatives, because of how important some of the negatives are, they outweigh the positives, unfortunately. But so first of all, I've got like phenomenal striker, great stats. We've obviously looked at that, brilliant card. He could be really useful for some future objectives. Now, obviously we don't know exactly what things are going to come out during the year, but one thing we have seen so far. Now, if I get an example up here, guys. So in the one to watch promo for this Ndombele, we've had various things where it says like, oh, win 4 squad battle matches using at least 1 Dutch, 1 French, 1 Belgian player. Or we've got this where you need to use French league players. Or there's something else where French players there. Like, so there's gonna come a point where there's gonna be objectives which require you to use MLS players. Probably not Venezuelan players, I doubt, because like there's not really many Venezuelan players in the game at all. But there will be things that come out that involve using MLS players, and he will be brilliant at that. Like, most people will just be using like bog standard players that they buy off the market, but if you're one of those guys that's gone out there and you've completed this SBC earlier in the year, you're going to have a huge advantage when it comes to those objectives somewhere down the line. So that could be a big positive, guys. He also has a great SBC value because he's an 86 rated card. We just saw there, like, some 86s are worth like they're worth at least 10k really, no matter how, like what kind of ability they have on the pitch. And like I said, 86 rated cards will go up in price at some point in the year. There'll be a much bigger demand. It's only just beginning right now with the SBCs, guys. They will start coming thick and fast throughout the year. It will get frantic. It will get to the point where there'll be so many coming out that I wouldn't even be able to keep up. Like, it happened last year. I literally just, with my schedule, I could not get them all in, like, and it will happen again. So 86 rated cards will fly up in price. So he's going to have a great value in that sense, even if if you don't enjoy him on the pitch, or if you can't really use him. The other thing as well, guys, which I noticed, in terms of the actual upgrade that they've given this card on his base card, it is monstrous. I mean, his base card's an 81, right? And it's worth literally 700 coins. It's like discard value. It's probably quite a sweaty player in game, but obviously it doesn't have a lot of value because of the league and nationality and stuff. But I've just got it written down here. So his pace has gone up by 4. So let's just get the card back up a second, just so we can give a kind of visual representation of this. So his pace has increased by 4, so it used to be 89. His shooting has gone up by 6. He only had 79 before. Dribbling's gone up by 6 as well, only 79 dribbling before. His passing has gone up by 11, guys, which I thought was incredible. Defending's gone up by 4, which doesn't really mean too much. And the physical's gone up by 6, and he's gone up by 5 overall ratings. He was an 81 rated card, now an 86. I mean, that is some boost. Like, normally these cards only probably go up by like, maybe like 2 or 3, like maximum really, but to put him up by 5 ratings, I thought was madness. I never realised until I like properly had a look at it. So that's obviously something to kind of consider. It is a big boost on the card, guys. It does look really good, but moving on to the cons. So of course it costs 85,000 coins, so if you've got 85,000 coins lying around that you feel you can afford to put into him, then feel free. Personally, I don't feel like my club is in that situation. I would not be willing to put it into this particular card, that sort of investment. Now, of course, I mentioned it's a poor nationality and a poor league as well, so essentially what will happen if you put your coins into this card, he will just sit on the bench. Unless you've got icons so you can link him in, then he will sit on the bench. But I would imagine chances are, if you've got enough coins to be able to afford icons, you're probably going to have an icon striker, really. I don't think you're going to have Josef Martinez, are you? So chances are you're not really going to be able to get him into a team. So he's just going to be sat on the bench. And I think a lot of us probably made the mistake last year of investing in some cards and ended up just don't really use them. They sit on the bench, and it's just coins that you kind of locked in, and you'd rather have them liquid for something else later on in the game. So I don't really want to make that mistake again. And the other final thing, guys, which is something that a lot of people kind of forget about, is that he's quite likely to get another Player of the Month card. Now, I know the MLS season doesn't follow the same kind of like calendar as some of the major leagues, so there'll probably be a point in the season where the MLS won't be on for a couple of months. There probably won't be any cards, but they will come back, and there will still be a lot of MLS Player of the Month throughout the course of this FIFA cycle. Now, if he's got this card right now, if you think about, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't watch a lot of MLS football, but from stuff I see, he seems to be one of the top players in the league, along with obviously like Ibrahimovic and Vea. They seem to be like the main 3 that I hear about quite a lot, and chances are they're going to get quite a few Player of the Month cards, those ones. So if this Martinez gets another Player of the Month, which, don't get me wrong, it won't be another +5. They won't bump him up to 91. If he got it next month, he would not be 91 rated. He'd be 87, 88 rated, something like that. But what's going to happen is this card then, the value of this card is going to decrease dramatically. Of course, it still holds the same SBC value, and of course it's untradeable, so effectively it doesn't really have any value. But the value in your head that you kind of consider of the card, it's not going to be anywhere near as great. Like if you do the 87, you're not then going to use the 86. That 86 is just going to be sat in your club wasting away until you then want to use it on an SBC. So the value of it's going to drop absolutely like rapidly. So it's a big thing to consider, guys, and that's kind of it really. Like, and I know, actually I should say as well that EA have confirmed that if a player does get another Player of the Month card, you're not going to be able to use the current one in the SBC for the up and coming one. So it's not like you'll be able to kind of upgrade it that way. So they will literally just become worthless. So you have to be careful, guys. You have to kind of have a bit of knowledge about the football that's going on in real life and think, well, the way he's going, he probably will get another Player of the Month. So probably shouldn't do him. Like I said, I don't really know too much because I don't watch the MLS, but from what I see, he gets quite a few Player of the Month cards in the different FIFA years, so it'll probably happen again, in my opinion. But yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. I mean, like I said, I don't really think it's necessarily worth it. It's a great card, but it's going to sit on your bench. It's a lot of coins to sink in one go, especially this early in the game. So I would conclude that I don't think that this Martinez is worth it, but let me know in the comments below if you disagree or why you disagree and what you think about the card, if you've got it, if you've enjoyed it. And if you've enjoyed the video, then feel free to leave a like. Obviously, if you want to see more of my videos with these sort of things, like these deep dives into these various SBC cards and my general kind of like first owner road to glory stuff, do pack openings as well on another account. Then feel free to subscribe to my channel. That would be much appreciated. But yeah, that is it from me, guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you later.